Hello everyone, it's Mariam here, and today I'm finally doing swatches of the Thirsty palette. And after I will do swatches, it means that I will be able to use it because, well, I am able to use it, but I want to do swatches first with this fresh new palette to have my first reaction to it, you know what I mean, before I use it with my eyeshadows and do with my brushes, I'm sorry, and do looks with it. So the Thirsty palette. Once again, I never thought that I need, the only palette I initially wanted was Blue Blood. This I didn't want. It just screamed my name. Once again, the packaging. I mean, we all know Jeffree. We have this beautiful, like, sweat drops, or I guess they're not sweat drops, they're just like summer dripping, drooling, I don't know, this type of vibe. So the Thirsty palette, eyeshadow / pressed pigment palette. Here we have all the informations for every ingredients for every single shade. So let's open it up. And here is the palette itself. Now the palette is more yellow compared to this. The packaging itself is more orange. I love how they changed colors. So the palette itself has these little drops, water drops. Yeah, let's open the palette. Okay, wait. There's a plastic protector, so I'm trying not to drop it. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, the mirror, the first two mirrors, I didn't have this sticker on the mirrors in other palettes for Blue Blood and Blood Sugar. I don't know why they put it specifically on this palette. Maybe because of this second row of pressed pigments and glittery shades, but I don't know what was the reason. And it comes with a plastic protector, which is also wrapped in like a plastic sticker. First of all, I want to peel off the stickers, so you can see this little thing. Let's get rid of it. I don't know why, but I want to do it. Oh, it's so clean, it's so beautiful. Guys, it's so shiny. You see it here? It was matte. I need this trash. The plastic protector is so... Even the plastic... Don't tell me I just ruined one shade. Oh, fuck me. Do you see the middle one? Ah, I have it in my nail, and I also dipped in a blue shade. Do you see this? Hold on. Do you see this? Do you see this? Ugh, so annoying. You can see this little right here. Let's peel off. I'll try to hold it carefully. Let's peel off the mirror. Ta-da! Oh, look at this. So beautiful. Wow, the mirror, I guess it is the huge, well, it's not the biggest mirror in the palettes. I think Jawbreaker has a huge one. Does Jawbreaker have a mirror? I don't know. I don't remember. I think it does. But in my Blue Blood and in Blood Sugar, I love the mirror in there because that's the mirror I was using actually for today, and the other days I use that mirror in those palettes as a mirror, obviously. But this one is huge. It fits my whole face. Wow, it really is huge. I love the mirror. Okay, I'm going to use this mirror most of the time because seriously, this is the best mirror in the palette that I've seen. I'm always creasing here. I don't know how to. Whatever, I smile too much. First row that we have here is this row of beautiful, I want to say nudes, but like we have one beige, more on the nude, white type of shade, then two pinks and two brown nudes. Guys, I just swatched the first shade and the second shade, and my camera turned off, and I realized that I wasn't recording this whole time. So basically, first of all, this palette has 15 shades, not 18 shades, just like other usual Jeffree's palettes. So you have 5 shades in each row, first of all. Second of all, I swatched the first shade called Parched. Right here. You can't even see it because I'm so pale, but it's definitely there. Then I swatched the second shade called Taste Buds. During swatching, the camera turned off, so it went kind of weak. Who's doing this? Interrupting me, how dare you? During my swatch video. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's very pretty pink. Only, to be honest, not my favorite shade of pink. It's more like coral, orangey, pink, reddish side. I don't know. I don't like, it's not my favorite type of pink, okay? But sure as hell can be very helpful when you're applying eyeshadows, maybe to blend some colors. So the next shade is probably one of my favorite names ever. Bitch! I love it. I honestly love it. So good. Okay, let's see if the shade itself is good. Okay, so here it is. Let's swatch. More on the, I want to say on the dry side. Oh wow, it's pigmented the house. The house. Okay. This one is not just definitely there, it's... Oh wow, it looks like a neon shade almost. So pretty. Okay. It kind of looks like I only have 2 shadow swatch, although don't forget this one right here, Parched. Next shade in the first row is Kumquat, and this is a beautiful, I want to say celebrity skin, but it's not celebrity skin. Okay. It's a very pretty shade. It's a very pretty nude shade. Let's swatch. On the dry side too. But then, what if they're all buttery, kind of? You know what I mean? Because the first one I swatched, okay, I would have to touch the first one again, just to make sure. Okay, so here is this Kumquat shade. Let's do a swatch. I mean, come on. Come on! So pigmented. I mean, they really are. The last shade of the first row is Stroke. It is a dark, nude situation. Let's see. On the dry side. Here it is. Let's swatch. Oh, there you go. That is pigmented. That is, I mean, what else was I expecting, right? But you still would like to know if there's something wrong with the swatches, but it's very nice. It's very cool. So here it is, the first row. It kind of looks like there is only 4 shadows when there is 5. Let me go in the Parched, the first one that I tried. Again, just to make sure that, no, it is more buttery than the others. You know what I've noticed though? The first shade in every palette, they're usually the lightest ones, like maybe a white one, a beige one. They all feel so soft and buttery, especially Cullinan. What's the thing with the first shade? They're so good. Okay, let me swatch it again. Yeah, you can't see anything. It's there. Okay, you guys. The second row is the one I am most excited about. Cannot wait to try. Have been waiting this whole time to try it so much and impatiently. And finally, we're here. So, let's do it. I mean, this is probably the best row ever. This beautiful thing right here. The first one is the only silver, and it's called Divine. Are you prepared for how sickening they're all going to look? Okay, let's see. Wait, I'm not sure. This is mirror. This is mirror right here. I can see my face. Oh, wait. My eyeliner kind of smudged right here. No, what I wanted to say is it almost felt like, one of those shadows or maybe highlighters or what else? Like those shades that are like butter, like actual butter, where you can press and they kind of can leave your like finger stamp in it. You know what I mean? And I kind of felt like maybe it was one of those shadows, but it's not. It just felt like it, but they're not. So there was nothing shocking. I was just thought that I felt like it was a complete different consistency that I was expecting, like completely different formula, but it's not. Okay, so I mean, let's go. No, I want to see this with my own eyes. This is metallic. This is metal. This is straight up metal. I mean, anyone ever is going to create a metallic shade, please try to keep up. Oh. This is shocking. It looks like metal. It looks like foil. I'm very happy about this palette. Okay, so the second shade is Filthy Rich. And it is like, I guess, your typical gold. So the first two shades are your typical silver, your typical gold. Let's swatch this. Okay, this is gold. There's kind of a lot of, like, there's a lot of crumbs on this shade. Can you see it? Like, compared to this finger, it's just smooth and gliding. This one, like little crumbs. How it's going to apply. Good. A huge chunk came off and it stayed on my shirt. Okay. Oh wow, this gold also has silver flakes in it, just in case. Okay, this as a swatch left a lot of chunks to it too. Do you see it? I don't know if you can see it that well, but here are the shades. Here you can see the huge chunk that came off. But like, it's not just gold. There are also silver pigment to it too, which is very interesting. Why didn't he choose just a gold color? He went with a little mixture. Okay, so the third shade in this row is called Luck. The one I already kind of dipped in. This is silver, like your classic silver. This is your classic gold. This one, the fourth shade, is your classic bronze. Then these two, they seem to me like kind of coming from the same family. This one is more orange. This one is more like chocolate, like this whole row. So we're dipping in this orange. Okay. This is very orange, and this is very like orange foil. That's what it looked like. Okay, let's see the swatch. Beautiful swatch. Oh, this one is so buttery. So this one was very like full of chunks, but it's fine. This one is full of chunks. This one has a little less chunks than the second one. This one doesn't have chunks at all. It just glide right in. You see this? This row deserves a close-up. I mean, I can't get over the foil moment. The fourth shade is what I called it, your typical bronze. It's called Snatched. Oh, I feel like this one will be full of chunks. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see the chunks? So let's do a swatch right here, actually. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Do you see those little chunks? I want to kind of blend them into the skin. Okay. This is so pretty. Unfortunately, the second row is coming to an end. So, the last shade in the second row. Plunge. This beautiful... You know what? I'm not sure. Do you remember what I told you about how it felt like the formula was a little bit like you could stamp your finger in it and it will leave the shape of it? I think it does that. Not too much with like some of the creamy shades. I think Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian have this kind of wet, creamy highlighter in their collections. I'm not sure. That's what I remember. I'm dipping in it. God, I just realized this is the end of, for me, for a while, of an era of me swatching Jeffree Star's palettes. I have some other palettes though that I cannot wait to try. Has crumbs, but not so much. It does. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so let's see how it's going to swatch. Are you ready? I am not. Chocolate, come on, focus. Okay. Okay, hands down, my most favorite row of all time. My most favorite shadows, I almost want to say. I mean, come on. Quality, so good. The final third row has some, like the shadows in the middle are so fun to swatch. This yellow one will be the first yellow shade that I own. The first shade in the third row is Subtle. Beautiful on the dry side. Okay, I think maybe the first matte shade in the palette is kind of like the only that is on the buttery side, and the other shades are kind of mixed between on the dry side and on the buttery side. I'm not saying that on the dry side are bad shades, by the way. Yes, I think I have to mention that too, because it might sound like a bad thing, but again, because I've been using the Blue Blood palette, and those shades that were on the dry side, they're amazing. They blend perfectly. They are so pigmented and full of color. I'm just trying to give you as much information as I can, especially like, I don't know, the weird ones. It actually doesn't even matter. I mean, there are some dry shadows that I've touched in my life. They're so dry, there's only fallout. There's barely any pigment, there's just fallout, which is sad, but none of them were Jeffree Star palettes. Actually, one of them was, ironically, Too Faced. But that is another review. So, I have this shade, Subtle. Let's swatch. This first shade is very pretty nude. I mean, what else would you expect from it? Just it's subtle, you know, for your everyday look. It's subtle. The next shade, oh, I cannot wait to try, is Quench. It is this beautiful yellow shade that I've never had a yellow shade, so I'm very excited to try that. On the dry side, actually drier than the usual ones. I mean, they're not, oh, do you see this? It doesn't really cover my finger. Okay, so you know what? Maybe the swatch will be bad, but the way we'll apply it to your lid will be not. What did I just do? Okay. For some reason, it's not as bright as in the palette. Like on the skin and on the finger. It's like the same color, but compared... Okay, let's compare it. Is it the same color? Is it the same color? Kind of, but the one in the palette is more saturated, but it makes sense. It makes sense, right? The next shade is Submerge. Kind of looks like something I have going on here on the dry side. Okay, Pigmented the House. Okay, honey, work. The last colorful shade in this palette is Splash. And this is a more minty shade on the dry side, but do you see this? Swatch it. Hunty. I'm so excited because this is actually very pretty. Wow, they look so vibrant. In real life too, but on the camera they're like just popping. And the last shade in this palette is a dark, well, not so dark brown, but brown drizzle. Oh, it's buttery. So the first shade and the last shade are very buttery. It's like the same buttery shade that was that I felt in the first shade. Okay. Oh wow, that is like chocolate. There you go, the last row. Okay, so what do I have to say about this palette? Jeffree, how can you do this to me? How am I supposed to buy other palettes after I've tried yours? So my final thoughts, this palette is amazing. I mean, I have to give it up for the second row of pressed pigments, but I want to say this thing. I don't know if like, now that I have Blue Blood, I don't need those two blue shadows, you know what I mean? I also have Blood Sugar. Blood Sugar doesn't necessarily have those shades, those two pink ones or red ones or whatever you like to call it, but I feel like I don't need them too. The nude shades, how many nude shades and brown shades can you get? I mean, obviously they have to be in the palette because what if a customer buys a palette and, you know, they don't want to just bright in your face colors. They want to get something that they can use on a regular basis, you know, for every day. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I have so many palettes now. The second row, please. Thank you so much for watching. Sound down below about what you think about this palette. What are your impressions? Are you shook by the second row, just like me? Thank you so much for watching. Now I'll see you in the next video. I cannot believe this. Okay, bye!